Welcome back to the Old Soul Millennial channel. My pregnant wife was recently involved in an unfortunate situation. She was rear-ended by a driver who was not paying attention. However, in today's video, we're going to see if we can take this negative situation and turn it into a positive situation. A small financial gain, as it were. Something to compensate us for our troubles and aggravation. So in today's video, first I want to talk about what actually happened, stress the importance of having front and rear facing dash cameras in all of your vehicles, and then we'll get into today's repair and see if I can come out ahead on this mess that we were placed in. Anyway, what happened? Well, again, my wife is with child. She was on her way home from work, stopped at a stop sign, was waiting for the intersection to clear, and the driver behind her was not paying attention, looking to the left, and boom! Hit the back of my wife's car. Thankfully, I have a front and rear facing dash camera installed in this car, so I will play the rear dash cam footage for you now, and you can observe for yourselves what actually happened. So clearly from that video, the other driver was not paying attention. After the accident occurred, both drivers pulled over to the nearest lot. My wife called me, she was frantic. I was rear-ended, I'm shaken up, I don't know what to do. The other driver's asking, should I call the cops? I said, hang on, I'll be right there, fly down there in the truck, assess the situation. First and foremost, my priority is the safety and well-being of my wife. Checking on her, see how she's doing. She's shaken up, she thinks everything's okay, but shaken up. I then assessed the damage of our car and the other car. A pretty decent sized ding in the back of our car. And while I was inspecting the damage on the back of our car, the other driver, the other bozo, gets out of his car. Let me ask you this. If you rear-end somebody, how would you start off the conversation with the other driver? Maybe a, hello, how you doing? Hi, I'm so sorry. Is she okay? What would you like to do? No. That's not how the other driver started the conversation at all. The other bozo got out of the car, and this is what he said. Oh, you know, it was both our faults. We weren't paying attention. I don't know what happened. What? You rear-ended my wife. How were you both not paying attention? My wife was stopped at a stop sign. It's amazing how much this other driver was trying to change the story in that split second right there. So at that point, I was just livid with this other guy. I told him, go wait by your car, we're calling the cops. And that's exactly what I did. I called the cops. They arrived very shortly, but it just pisses me off how somebody who is clearly in the fault was trying to create a false narrative. That is why it is so important to have dash cams, front and rear dash cams on all your vehicle, because the video, it doesn't lie. What's interesting, once the cops arrived, they weren't interested in seeing the video. They just wanted an account from the driver of both vehicles as to what happened, and then they moved it on to the insurance company. Now, we have Geico. Geico makes it very easy to report what actually happened and upload photos and videos. So I did just that. I included the police report, shared all my evidence, including the rear dash cam video, right to Geico's website. And once the other driver's insurance company received that rear dash cam video, they claimed 100% fault, and that's how it should be. So again, so important to have dash cams. So I got in touch with the other party's insurance company a few weeks ago, and insurance companies, you know, they want to pay out as little as possible. So this woman called me and said, here's how this is going to work. We've accepted 100% fault. We are going to write you a personal check for $28.50. At this point, once you receive the check, you have two options. You can either pocket that money, forget about the repair, take your wife on a nice vacation, whatever, or you could get the damage repair. Now, if you want to get the damage repair, you're going to have to find a body shop of your choice, get a quote, give us the quote, and if the amount quoted is higher than the $2,800 that we've given you, we will pay the difference to the body shop. So I would have to pay that $28.50 to the body shop, and then the insurance company would pay the rest. The other driver's insurance company would also pay for a rental. So I got to thinking, there's no structural damage to this car. The body lines are still really straight. Trunk still closes just fine. I wonder if I could find a salvage trunk. So I started doing some research, and I ended up on, I think, Lentini Auto Salvage They're over by Flemington, New Jersey, and I found out that they had one of these full trunk assemblies on their shelf. And how much did they want for it? Well, I worked them down to $15.60. So I went down there today to take a look at it, and I ended up picking it up. A whole new trunk assembly. And after taxes and fees, it cost me, I think, $16.62 at the door. I am here at Lentini Auto Salvage in Ringo's, New Jersey. Ended up purchasing a used replacement hatch, no dents or dings. This one's in fairly good condition. I may have to swap a few parts from the old hatch onto the new hatch, but definitely give this place 5 stars. Very helpful, friendly staff. Had a few concerns. They addressed everything, made me feel very comfortable. So let's get this part home and swapped out. So at the end of the day, if this works out, I should be able to unbolt this trunk assembly, bolt the new one on, and then I should have $1,200 in my pocket. Now, it's not exactly that simple because now this car has a flaw on its Carfax report, right? There's an accident on this car. But at the end of the day, you know, this car has 120,000 miles on it, and I'm probably going to keep fixing this car until the wheels fall off, so, or until the wife forces me to get her a new car. So that's the story. We're going to see if we can turn this negative situation into a positive situation. So let's try and take this trunk off and see if we can't install the new one. So after 4 hours of swapping everything over, I can happily say that the operation was a success. Now, this was by no means an easy job. I ended up swapping a lot of components from the original hatch onto the new hatch. Like the spoiler, I swapped over the black trim. Reason I swapped over the lower black trim above the license plate, the camera on the new panel, which is this one, was kind of blurry, so I ended up using the camera on the old panel, just swapped over the trim panel, even swapped over my wiper. Something else, while I had this whole panel apart, I realized that the old owner of this hatch apparently broke the rear glass at some point, so there was a lot of glass still in there, so I wanted to vacuum all that out, clean that out. Aside from that, everything's working good. I tested out the wiper fluid, license plate light is functioning properly. The only thing I didn't test is the third brake light. Maybe I'll do that off camera. Now, as for alignment of everything, it really didn't take much. So there are actually 2 black channel trim pieces that sit on the top of the roof. Right, so you have these 2 pieces that sit up here in the channel, and they hide the 2 bolts that bolt the hinge for the hatch onto the main body of the car. Now, where those bolt onto the main body of the car, there's a little bit of play in there. So my technique, I got everything started, I got the nuts started, but I didn't leave them tight. Closed the hatch, went inside, and then I tightened everything up from the inside. Of course, ensuring that all my body lines were even, and no complaints. So the only thing I have to do now, I have to reinstall these black channel pieces up here in the rails, and also I need to re-silicone this joint back in. So from the manufacturer, you know, where those hinges bolt onto the main body of the car, there's like this really heavy duty 3M, like high grade automotive glue silicone Bondo, whatever the hell it is up there. So I'm just going to use some clear silicone and seal it up there to ensure that we don't have any water intrusion through the roof. But at the end of the day, I'm a happy camper. Car looks good. Had to get my hands a little bit dirty. It was kind of fun, honestly, learning about everything, but $1,200 in the bank. I'll take it. Thanks for watching. As always, I will catch you on the next one.